What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Crypto Weekend Watch List with Amma Jamma, and Jackal is out of the country. It looks like we have Mr. SLP joining us. I see him
But
popping up.
I am here. I'm here to help you out, to
Let's
hold your
go.
hand.
Woohoo! I'm so happy. Okay, we'll do news first and then start because we have a little bit of both. I want to hit on a couple news stories we've already hit on. If you join us on our Twitter Spaces, there's a couple bigger news stories this week that did come out, and the first one would be this release of funds of approximately, I think it was I forget the exact total. I have to look at Mount Gox, 3 billion of Bitcoin. Mount Gooks, I don't know how it's pronounced, but they are releasing $3 billion worth of Bitcoin that was hacked back in 2014. There was a long court case, this and that. That is being released next month. I think it's interesting. There's a couple perspectives I've heard on it, and that is that there's two perspectives here. First is with lawsuits like this, as someone made a great point on a Twitter space last week, that lawsuits like this, sometimes it ends up being where it's such a small amount of people that actually follow through the lawsuit that it's not really going to be as substantial as it seems. And then there's this other theory of thought that if even 10 to 20% of this Bitcoin is immediately sold and liquidated when it's that high of a number, it could have a major effect on Bitcoin across the board. The one thing for me is that is a little bit worrisome, but not abundantly worrisome, is that two things. Bitcoin backs everything. That's the part that I think a lot of people need to consider. Like, it's a little different than what happened with Luna, just because of the specific fact of with Luna, it was Luna, it was more an independent type crypto. Yes, it was backed USD, stablecoin, this and that. But the biggest thing that is a little different here is a lot of the major cryptos that we play with and buy are Bitcoin backed. Welcome, dog. Sorry about that. They're Bitcoin backed. And what that means is you've got your altcoin, and everybody that buys that altcoin within the blockchain, within the creators, within their infrastructure. They're buying Bitcoin as like a hedge on what we're buying. So that's what it's backed by. It's like our coin's legit. We have Bitcoin we're buying. We're investing in Bitcoin and backs it. So if Bitcoin takes a tumble in any sort of way, it will rock a lot of the market, because most coins are backed by Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Sol. And Sol's more like NFT type, this and that. So that to me is what to watch. I hope that rundown made sense. I know.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And Amy, that's pretty similar to coins that are backed by Ethereum, right?
Yeah,
the similar
exactly.
thing. Gotcha.
It's exactly the same thing.
Yeah, a lot of my crypto long-term holdings are either backed by Bitcoin or Ethereum. I wasn't really buying junk coins,
Yeah. And that's good. I mean, so it's something to watch, because, like we saw like the market today had a nice bullish day, this and that. We did have a nice push yesterday in crypto, a very strong push, as a matter of fact. A lot of these charts are hanging out in this wedge. And that brings me to our second news story. XRP, Ripple, had a major, major win when it comes to this lawsuit they're tied up in. It's a lot of just crap. Pardon my language. XRP ended up taking a hit that they didn't deserve because of it. They're really, behaving in the same way as every other crypto, and they have some SEC case. They have some SEC type filings and some decisions that have been made in the last few days that are absolutely huge when it comes to SEC. The judge that's in the case said it's pretty much called it hypocrisy. So this is like step one towards this to be thrown out. And when this is thrown out, it's amazing. Ripple is still the third biggest cap in all of crypto, and people in the US can't even buy it unless you're on an alt exchange. You can't buy it on the major exchanges. So once this is all settled and kind of just worked out, this is like my top. I mean, I'm talking like SHIB push, that type of thing. I'm literally talking insane. This is not the XRP chart though. This is some weird XRP. Hold on, guys. Sorry about that.
That was like the futures of XRP.
Yeah. I was like, this is not the right price. What's going on here? There we go. This one will work. And we're at 33 cents. We already have a nice like 10% push on XRP since I had alerted it.
There we go.
Last time, most of the crypto, and as far as the charts go with some of these cryptos, we're hitting our head. It's very similar. Tell me that doesn't look like 30 stock charts out there. Like everything we've been playing lately. We just keep hitting our head. We're in these channels, and we have not been able to break out bullish from this channel since this was the Luna debacle right here, and we've hit our head multiple times.
I do like how, right there at that bottom channel trend line, how it popped out of the channel, but look, I like how it recovered and got back into the channel.
Right.
I like seeing stuff like that.
Exactly. That demonstrates to me that we have a decent loading zone here. And what that means is when you see that kind of strong bouncing right back into a channel, that makes this our loading zone. If we get down anywhere in this area here, we could feel good that even if we lose that initial bottom at that 30 cents, that 30 and a half cents, that either way, we're going to take that bounce at like 28 and a half cents. So that's your loading zone. That's where you want to load up and feel good about your position. We could come down every time we're hitting our head on this. We're not even kind of hanging out. We're coming right back down. So two thoughts on this. If within this weekend, because we had a very bullish day on the market and crypto fell behind. Crypto did not follow the market today. So if we get a nice strong push, in a pullback, I don't even think a push this is what I'm looking like. This is what I'm looking at, something like this. I want to see us break up above this channel, test the channel, and then have that secondary pop. If this can happen, we could go on quite the bull run with crypto. What do you think, Lee? I know there's quite a few coins you watch. Is there any specific coins you like?
I was looking at, I'm just basing it off the chart, and I was looking at Bitcoin, that 21,000 level I was looking at. And then if it holds 21, I mean, it's been pushing right now. I feel like if it holds 21, then we can probably get to the high 21, like 21.5, 21,800. And then we would just put some bonus targets out once we get there. But I do like where we are. But like you say, we're hitting our heads against those resistance and those the top of the wedge or the top of the channels. And we just need to see a big, strong break. And then we can see a lot more upside. I mean, there's huge upside potential if this is close to bottom. But XRP, man, if they win and it's official, then I think that's a big boost for the overall crypto market. Now, if they lose, then we shall see what happens. I think the people won't take it well. But if they win, then big time. It will. I think it will give us a big boost.
Sorry. I do agree with that. And XRP has such a large cap as well it's substantial. They've got a gigantic. I love XRP too. Absolutely. I love it at 30 cents. I love the movement of it. Sol's been one I've been playing. Usually you used to play Sol quite a bit.
I still play Sol. Yeah. Sol's great.
It's been this is one that actually looks better if I pop a trend line on here, like we're talking about hitting our heads. Sol actually broke out of that downtrend, retested it, and then had that second pop. So Sol's interesting here. It looks a little more bullish than XRP or Bitcoin. Obviously, we have all seen that everything tends to trade somewhat together lately, but you could see here, even the secondary angle, it broke up out of here. So, I mean, Sol's another one. If we get we're doing this double top here in a way, but if we come back and hit that 37.50, even to $38 area, and that secondary push can be a really, really strong push.
Sol is good, man. Sol is really, I mean, it came down so much from all-time highs, and it's one that people follow. They have a good following. And I think, you look at that. I mean, that's a nice clean breakout. Let's see if it holds.
Absolutely agree with that.
Above that resistance. Also, I like one before you get onto the next thing. Litecoin is another one I like. Litecoin is good. Also, Mana. I think Mana is good too.
I have that as well.
Litecoin had a pop last weekend for like 5 or
LTC.
6%. Yeah, it had a really nice move last week, and this one's
wow.
And look,
That's
even more
you
bullish.
got the wrong one.
Yeah,
I do. Thank you, guys.
Properties. It's all right. That one looks good too, actually. Maybe
I mean,
we'll
it
trade
did.
next week.
That looks good.
It does look good.
That looks even better than the rest. Look
Yeah.
at that. Oh, I was playing this last weekend, guys.
You
Can
love
you tell?
this one, yeah.
Yeah, well, this one's been on a strong run over the last week or so. Like, as you could see with the last couple charts we looked at, like XRP hasn't been quite as bullish. This one though is pushing pretty nicely. Oh, I immediately see this little triple top that if we could break over this, we're in. That's what I'm watching right here. This resistance we've been sitting at right here. But Litecoin had super strong push last weekend. We had like some 3-4%, like literally 1 hour candles, 4 hour candles. So it was a really nice push for that one. All these lines are really weird because they're not in these trends anymore, and I haven't looked at it.
Now, what about our question about this whole crypto winter? Now, how is that going to affect the crypto market, especially in this huge downtrend that we've been in? Is that going to be substantial, or you don't think we're going to see much more? Pain with this.
I've gone back and forth. I've gone back and forth personally. I've got a clean Bitcoin chart up just so I could talk about kind of what I'm looking at as far as long term here. So obviously this is what we've got here and we've got here. We've already lost this point, and this was really, really important to stay above that that 20K, that mental block there, because that was our peak in December 17. And then it was also where we had traded sideways for quite a while before our strong bull run at the end of 2020 into 2021. We dipped below that area. And at the same time, I also don't like that we're kind of, even though we are technically uptrending here, it wasn't a strong uptrend. On our daily chart, we're still in a place where we haven't proven anything that like it wants to continue moving. We've had little bounces, of course, but everybody's heard of a dead cat bounce, that 20% you could get after a sell-off. So got to be cautious about that. So the levels I'm looking at, honestly, and a lot of people do talk about, is that 15K, 14K in this area. And then other analysts are actually calling for 10K, which is this area right in here. Yeah. Those are the two areas.
I heard 13K from a couple analysts as well. So a couple levels to watch there. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Exactly. And that's the thing. And that's the unfortunate reality of when you had a bull run as strong as we had, falling back into the trend that makes sense. And we talk about this with the SPY a lot, how we're kind of where it makes sense now. So it's not as deafening. It's not as scary to look at a chart when you look at it from 2008 all the way through.
Right.
Bitcoin, it's a little different because we did have the peak. This just wasn't sustainable, but we are back within that zone. So a lot of people talk about the zone that makes sense is that 15 to 20K. And that's kind of where we're at. A lot of analysts are calling for, like, honestly, this, if you pop a line across these bottoms here, a lot of analysts are talking about this is the bottom. Like that we need to come down and touch that 8 to 10,000 range. And the longer it takes, it'll be a little less extreme. But that's what a lot of people are also kind of inferring is that's kind of like trend channel in that. And they've talked about the Bitcoin rainbow. I'll see if I can find the chart on that real quick. But so this is like, the two ranges we're looking at, and then the top line on this range would be pretty close to. So that's another thing that people are talking about. And this looks similar to the SPY chart from like 2008 through now. So I don't know. I wish I did, Lee. I don't know where my bottom is anymore. I used to think that there's no way. Absolute bottom was 18 to 20K, and we blew past that. So, I don't know.
We're at 21. We're at 21 now. So aren't we above that line again that you got right there?
Yep. Yeah, we are. We're above it again right here. So we are holding up for the most part at this last point. That's this last, like, hoping saving grace here. Yeah.
8,500. Yeah.
Exactly. Because this is the weekly chart, and this is like the last little shred of any sort of support we have,
Mhm.
until we really start coming down. So that's what I'm kind of looking at. And I'm playing short, like the market. What we look at and we see as like a nice setup. That's what I'm looking at. We have 2 green weeks in a row here on Ripple. That's good. So, I mean, it's educated guesses, but it really is guesses. So, but crypto winter in general, some analysts say that this is it. It already happened. I mean, we pulled back to 18K from 70K. That's an 80% pullback almost. So was that the winter?
Right.
That's what I was asking.
That's a good point.
I mean, I don't know too much about it like you do, so that's why I asked you. You're the brains here. You love crypto. But yeah, that's very interesting. Yeah, sometimes. But you also over there, Titan. I mean, you short it too. So I mean, there's money to be made both sides.
Absolutely. And speaking of Titan and shorting, so this is what I'm looking at for Ripple. If you want to play a leverage trade on Ripple, right here on our 5, and this is short-term stuff. This is like literally tonight. These entries won't be valid. I'll post this over in Titan too and put the alert up. So if we see a breakup over our little short-term resistance, this is a 5-minute, and this is like scalp momentum based. These are not long swing setups, guys. These are short-term. This is what I'm looking at. If we hit some rejection here at this little quad top we have just in the last maybe day or so, taking a short. So take a short below like 0.3223, right around that area, like 32.5 cents. If we lose that, I would like a short down to our trend line here. But if we could break up over, say, like 0.337 and hold, I think we could come up and try to test this line up in the mid 34 cents. And if we could do that, that would be a nice, at least 400 to 500% leverage trade. So, that's what I'm watching. Let me write down those entries so I don't forget, and I'll put them in the chat. So 0.337 for the long, and then 327 for the short.
327,
yeah. And then those are like the more swing entries, like giving it some room to really breathe. Now, if you wanted to be riskier, you zoom way in here and you play right off this little part here, and you wait and you say, okay, we're in our uptrend here. I'm going to pop a line. This is how I like to scalp. I'm going to pop a line right here. All right. And if we lose this line, I want it to and retest and then lose this line. I'm taking a short up in this, 0.33395, like literally. So something like this. For anyone that's watching.
Can you use the leverage on the short plays also?
Yes. Leverage short, leverage long.
Use leverage for the long ones?
No, you can use leverage for short plays. So like I'm literally watching for something like this, and that's like my scalp. That's what I'm looking for, our scalp setup here. Whereas I gave you those two targets I gave you were more like for a long, and I'm just constantly shifting these lines around. Whatever you see, whatever you pick up, because this looks like a nice ascending wedge, which to me tells me we're going to break bearish. But at the same time, that's not guaranteed. So that's one play I'm watching on Ripple here. But I will be over in Titan, and I'll give you guys some setups over there in a little bit. And I know Lee had to jump off. I appreciate him jumping in with us. We like to keep these streams a little bit shorter. I will definitely jump over in Titan. Though if you are not part of Titan, I will leave the link in our description of our video. We do leverage trading over there every weekend. LTS, I'll live streaming free as well tomorrow. Thanks, Ben, for joining me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right on.
We are a team.
We're going to jump off. Thank you guys so much, and we will see you guys next time. Peace out, Cub Scouts.